Hello friends, from today I'm going to start DSP series, Digital Signal Processing. So the important terms that you should know, like this video is an introduction to DSP. So before studying DSP, you must know the meaning of digital signal and processing. So what is signal? So signal is basically a physical quantity that changes with time, frequency, temperature, etc. So signal is a physical quantity that changes with independent parameters like time, frequency, temperature, or any other parameter. You can also say that signal is a function. Since it changes with independent variables, so it is a function of one or more independent variable that carries some information to represent a physical phenomena. So we have basically two definitions of signal. You can write it down. First is, it is a physical quantity that changes with time, frequency, temperature, etc. And the second definition is, signal is a function of one or more independent variable that carries some information. Signal must carry some information, otherwise it is useless, right? So signal is a function of one or more independent variable that carries some information, and this information represents a physical phenomena. So signal is a function of one or more independent variable that carries some information to represent a physical phenomena. So example can be, see, I'm talking, my speech, human speech is an example of signal. What else? Your electric current, voltage, they are all signals. Fine. Also, if a signal depends only on one independent variable, what are independent variables? Time, frequency, temperature. Signal changes with these variables, right? So if a signal is dependent on only one independent variable, then it is called one-dimensional signal. And if your signal is dependent on two independent variables, then it is called two-dimensional signal. Fine. Now you know what is signal. Now we have two types of signal, analog signal and digital signal. So analog signal is a signal which is a continuous wave and it changes over a time period. Basically it changes at every time, like at every interval of time. It is a continuous wave. It is changing continuously. If you are given a time period, then during that time period an analog signal will change continuously. It is a continuous wave that changes over a time period. Whereas a digital signal is a signal that represents a sequence of discrete values. Digital signal are what? 0, 1, 0, 1. So it represents a sequence of that discrete value. You can say an analog signal is this, continuous. This is your sine wave. And your digital signal is this. One, this is minus 1, 1, minus 1. Your square wave is your digital signal. So your analog signal data, it is in the form of wave. Whereas your digital signals carry data in the binary form, 1 and 0. It can also be 1 and 0, 1 or minus 1. This you can consider 0, or even this is your digital signal. So I have given you examples of signal: human speech, voltage and current. So your human speech is an analog signal because it varies continuously with time. It is a continuous wave. Whereas the signals that are used for transmission in a computer, they are all digital signals. Your computer uses digital signals. I hope you understood the difference between analog signal and digital signal. One more point I should give it to you. I hope you have already studied digital communication before studying this subject. So you know what is sampling, quantization or encoding. If you don't know these topics, then I can make a video on these topics. If you want, you can ask it in the comment. So if you already know, then you will understand this point, that your analog signal, when your analog signal is sampled, then you get your discrete time signal. Basically, if this is your analog signal, sampling is this. So discrete time signal is what? Your time is discrete. Your time is discrete. At different times you have signal, but your amplitude is still continuous. And then, for example, you can say your discrete time signal xn equal to sine 2 pi fnts. So your time is discrete here, but your amplitude is continuous. If ts is 0.1, then nts will be 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. So your time is discrete, but your amplitude is still continuous. When this discrete time signal is quantized, then you get your digital signal. So basically, you can convert your signal from analog to digital first by sampling. Your analog signal is continuous in time as well as in amplitude. When you sample your analog signal, you get your discrete time signal, which is continuous in time but which is discrete in time but continuous in amplitude. And when you quantize your discrete time signals, if this is your signal and if it is sampled like this, then you remember, right, quantization was something like this. So after quantizing your signal, discrete time signal, you will get digital signal. Now your digital signal is discrete in time as well as discrete in amplitude. Okay, and if this digital signal is encoded, you will get your binary values. Now we have discussed about analog signal and digital signal. Now the second point is, what is system? You must have studied signal and system before this subject. So signal we have studied. Now what is system? So basically, system is defined as an entity that acts on an input signal and transform it into an output signal. So your system, it is an entity which acts on an input signal and then your input signal is converted into an output signal. The system is defined as a set of elements or fundamental blocks which are connected together and they produce an output in response to an input. So basically the actual physical structure of your system, it determines the exact relation between your input and output, and it specifies the output for every input. Basically system is nothing but system is something that acts on an input signal, is an entity that acts on an input signal and transform it into an output signal. Now system is done. Now what is signal processing? So signal processing, it is concerned with the representation, transformation and manipulation of signals. Basically doing something on signals is signal processing. And playing with the information that signal contains is what is signal processing. So it is concerned with the representation, transformation and manipulation of signals and the information they contain. Or you can say it is a method of extracting the information from the signal, which in turn depends upon the type of the signal and the nature of information it carries. So it is nothing but extracting the information from the signal. So now you know what is signal processing also. You know our signal processing is of two types. First is analog signal processing and second is digital signal processing. And we are studying digital signal processing. We are not studying analog signal processing because digital signal processing has many advantages over analog signal processing. I will make a separate video for that, explaining you the advantages of digital signal processing over analog signal processing. So what is analog signal processing? Basically, analog signal processing is where analog signals are processed. Analog signals I already explained you. These are continuous time signals. So different types of analog signals are processed through low pass filter, high pass filter, band pass filter and band reject filter to get the desired shaping of input signal. Basically you just remember that in analog signal processing your continuous time signals are processed. Continuous time input signal is given. XT is given, continuous time signal, and this is your analog system, and you get YT. And in digital signal processing, your digital signals are processed. Basically it is a numerical processing of signals. Here numerical processing of signals on a digital computer or some other data processing machine is done. What is a digital system? Such as digital computer takes signal in discrete time sequence form and converts it in discrete time output sequence. So instead of XT in digital, XN is given. The input is in discrete time sequence and you get an output which is also in discrete time. So write down the definition here of digital signal processing, like the proper definition. So you can say it is an important branch of electronics and telecommunication engineering that deals with improvisation of reliability and accuracy of digital communication by employing various techniques. So what is the meaning of this definition? It is an important branch of electronics and communication, and it deals with improving the quality, the accuracy, the reliability of digital communication by employing various techniques. So I hope you understood, and if you like this video then please subscribe to my channel for more such videos. Thank you. Goodbye.